Okay. So in the last session, we discussed about visualizations like a table, cross table, graphical table, summary table. Today we'll see the charts, so bar charts and all. So we'll start with bar chart. So here we are. See, before working and these kind of charts and all, we have to understand that why we need to use these charts and what is the use case of that bar chart. Where you'll be using line chart, where you'll be using bar chart or a line scatter plot or a pie chart. So these things will be were very important before coming to a conclusion or before you start creating any chart.
Okay.
Okay, so bar chart is a kind of visualization which will help users to see data based on the categorical way. Okay, so here we will be having data based on, like, let's say sales versus categorical. Okay, so this way, like, my users can see the data based categorical wise data. Okay, so category is nothing but your x-axis. This is called category. Okay, value axis means y-axis, which is your y-axis. Okay, so if you just go to help, what is bar chart? A bar chart is a way of summarizing a set of categorical data. Okay, the bar chart display data using a number of bars, each representing particular category.
Okay.
So this way, definitions and all goes down. So bar chart, here we have y-axis as we already seen. So y-axis nothing but your value axis, where you will show the numbers, sales, profit, count. So it will be always numerical number here on y-axis. Okay, you can just go to the properties and select the columns, or you can do it from here itself. Just click on this, you will see all the columns available here, and you can just select sales. If you have many columns, then you can search also here. If it's sales, so sales column came up here. So I just do it sales. On your x-axis, you can again choose any of the columns, so which will help you to see the numbers. Let's say region. So what I have taken just sales per region. Sales per region means, as I'm getting a bar chart which shows me regional bars, because I have 4 regions and their sales. So central, east, south, and west. Here, my user can know or can understand easily that what is sales numbers, how it is going on, and all. So let's say highest is coming from central and the least is coming from south. Okay.
Okay.
We can do a lot of things now here. So we'll see this. We'll go to the properties. Again, you'll have, if you bring up the cursor on the header of this chart, okay, then you'll just see the first.
One second. Like, instead of region, can we take like the product subcategory? I mean, like, there are a lot of products listed, right?
Anything. It's your choice. Choice means your requirement. I have just taken region so that I can show you something like that. So I have taken region. Okay.
Sure.
Otherwise, otherwise you can take any of the columns. Okay.
Okay. I was thinking, like, maybe we'll get a different type, like, that's why I asked you.
No.
We'll go ahead with the region now.
It will be always bars only. So customer
I thought
segment,
some histogram kind of thing might come up because of the subcategory. So that's why.
Histogram will come up like if you have numerical column. So let me just take something, say profit. Okay, then this is histogram. Okay, so here you can just see the binnings and all. So this will be as a histogram.
Okay.
Okay, so this will be histogram.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll go back to region as usual.
Okay, so this way, like, you have, if you bring your cursor on like your header, then you will see the 4 items here like this. Show height controls. Under this, like you have few more options which were not there in the table, across table options. So here you have this title bar, legend, categorical access selector, value access selector, scale labels. So these all options are there. This is nothing but like your options to show whatever is showing up here. Show or hide. Title bar. If you don't want to see the title bar, click on this, means this will be unchecked and you will not see the title bar. Legend, if you don't want to show the legend, legend will not be shown. Category access selector means like x-axis selector will not be shown like this. It's gone. Okay. You want to get it back? Just click on this again. Okay. So this is just an options. Then you have properties, as you already know. Then you have legends. Legends, that's what it's gone. Click on this again. Legend will come back. Legend play a very important role now onwards. It was playing earlier also, like in cross table and all, but now onwards, like it play more role, a bigger role in like analyzing the data or seeing the data how it should be. So we'll go to the properties. General will remain same. So what we have discussed, title of the chart and description and data. Data all remain same. Completely marking, limit data using marking, limit data using filtering, limit data using expression, all that will remain same. Okay. Under general, you have auto title. So auto title means whatever you select here on your y-axis or x-axis, automatically that will be shown as your title of the chart. Okay. So I selected sales by region, so automatically it is showing as sales per region. Okay. But you can also modify it accordingly, according to your requirement. Okay. You have to just write down, like, see, if it is auto title, then it means whatever you select, automatically the title of the chart will change. Okay, like this. Here you see I have changed profit, automatically got changed. But let's suppose you have modified, if you have removed this thing and you have said like profit by region or whatever you want to call it, say profit by region. Okay, still you're getting the same thing. But if you change the chart, and there will be a lot of instances now onwards when we will be working on Spotfire, where we want our users to change the axis. Means we'll give them options to change the axis, not like this way, dynamic options. So here if you see, I have changed it to sales, but the chart is still showing me profit, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So it's not a good idea. Yeah, it's not a good idea to keep this way. Okay, so I'll remove this, say edit, and you have a property called auto title. Say just use this. So auto title.
It is always recommended to use auto title. That's right.
Yes, exactly. Okay, auto title allows you to, here as I told you earlier in cross tables and everywhere, that you should not show this thing, aggregations. Okay, so if you are using aggregation, if you are using at auto title, then aggregation will not come. So aggregation will also not come here. So it is not showing you sum of sales per region. It is showing you sales per region. It is not showing the aggregation, whatever you have used, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Then your data and appearance. Appearance is nothing but like how you want to show the chart. So it is vertical bars. You can have horizontal bars. Okay. This is horizontal bars. And side by side bars. This is side by side only. Okay. And stack bars. So here you see, if I show stack bars, nothing is changing. Why it's not changing, I'll tell you. For stack bars, what I have to do, I have to use color by. So let's say if I take product category. Okay, this is your side by side bars. You can see that earlier you was having only 4 bars. 4 bars, each for region. Now every bar for a region is converted to 3 different bars. Okay. So these 3 different bars are based on the product category of which you have used on color by option. Okay. color by. Okay, so it's like earlier you were having like this, and just to give you an example, some random example only. Okay, so let's say this is your salary. Okay, let's say $10,000. Okay, so now under this is your $10,000. Okay, now the user says, okay, can you show me the breakup of this? Okay, breakup of this by anything. By anything means the way he wants to see. So let's say I'll have the basic salary, I'll have the HRA, I'll have the other allowances. Okay, and I have the medical. So this way I have like I have four other means breakup. I'll have under breakup column, I'll have four values: basic, HRA, and medical and other allowances. Four. So how many bars should come now? So every bar will be converted into four different bars.
Four.
You got this requirement?
Yeah.
Same thing. Here my user is saying, okay, this is region, but can you help me to see this region, how much sales is happening for every product? So it's like this region is giving me sales of $2.54 million. Okay, $2.54 million. But how this $2.54 million is distributed by product category? Means how much sales is happening for each product under this region. So what I'll do for that? Either I can do this way. Say I see the filters, I'll remove the filters using the filters option. Right now I'm showing only furniture. So this is showing me only $859,000. This is East, but I don't want my user to do like this way. So what I'll do, I'll use the color by option and say product category. Here you see this.
Okay.
You got a bar that for central region furniture is $859, office supply is $672,000, and technology is $1.08 million, which is highest. Okay. So this way my user get to know that how much sales is happening for each bar, each category. Now here I have three values. That's the reason I have three. If I have 4, 5 and all, same thing, it will increase to 4, 5 segments. This is called side-by-side bars. Okay? This is called side-by-side bars. Then we have stack bars, and this is called your stack bars. Okay? Stack bar means segments will not be side-by-side. It will be one on the top. Okay? Same single bar will be segmented into different parts.
Okay.
Okay. So this is your stack bar chart. It looks good, and here you see it's showing me the same numbers and everything. No change. Only thing, it will be segmented. So that is called stack.
Okay.
So here you see 859. Here you have 672. Here you have 1.08 and all. So this way, you'll see the numbers here. Now, next option is 100% stack bars. 100% stack bars like this. So all sizes will be same. Only the inner segment size will be different, but total size will be same. Okay, this is called 100% stack bar. Bar width you can control from here, like this. Transparency you can control from a transparency with lighter shade, darker shade. So normally by default it will be darker shade. If you want to have lighter shade, then you can do that.
Okay.
Now you have show shadows indicating the unfiltered data. If you not apply the filters, then you can see the shadows will show up here. Okay. So if you keep increasing, then you'll have this shadows just to show that data is not filtered in that. Okay.
Okay. Is it good to show shadows
for marked item? Not such required, but still an option is there.
Okay.
It's not that mandatory kind of thing like you have to show. It's just an option. Normally, only like very rarely people use this. Okay. So use separate color for marked item. You know this option. If you mark this, if you check this, then only you will see the marking. Here you see marking is still happening, but it is not showing me the color. But when I check this, then only the marking color will show up, whatever color marking you have used. Okay, here you see marking is happening. Then you have option of sort bars by value. So as of now, you can see this one is bigger bar, this one is the smaller, then this is the least, then so it's not sorted. So what I'll do, I'll say sort bars by value. So it means highest to lowest, isn't it? But the segments are not sorted. Okay, segments are not sorted. This one is bigger, this one is second highest, and this one is the least. So it is sandwiched between the bigger ones first and second. So I need to sort this bars also. So what I need to do, use the second option, sort bars segments by value. So here it will be highest, then second highest, then the least, or whatever you want to do. So bar segments by order. It will be now reverse bar segment order. So it will be smaller one to bigger one. So like this, the way you want to show. Okay.
Okay.
This is a part of appearance. Okay. It's where your requirement, whether you want to have a stack bar chart or right click, you can do that stuff from here itself. You want to see the stack bar chart, stack bars, or you want to see side by side, or you want to see horizontal ones. Okay, it's your wish, like how you want to do. Your wish means like how user wants to see. Okay, that's completely based on the users, if how they want to see.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have formatting. Formatting is nothing but like your numbers, how you want to see. So obviously it will be currency, USD, and you can take the decimal places, whatever you want. So here you see the decimal places, or how much is the sales and all, the 1.01, this is 859,000. So earlier you were getting more decimal places and all, it was not uniform, but now it will be uniform. Then you have fonts, so you can use the fonts accordingly, the way you want. Category axis. Category axis is your x-axis. So here I'm using region. Okay, here right now I'm using region. Now I can change it to, let's say, product subcategory. Okay. Now since like I'm using sorting, that's the reason. Even though it is sorted, so it is sorted from highest to lowest. You can see this. Okay. So if I remove the sorting, then you will see the grouping. So if I remove the sorting like this, so here you see like this, it will be like this, alphabetically sorted. Right now this is alphabetically A to T. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to sort it, just say sort bars for value. So it will be highest to lowest.
Lowest. Okay.
Okay. Now on your x-axis, you have used product subcategory. You use the range also in this, or labels. Labels like this is coming here, or your x-axis. You can increase this from just use a cursor or like mouse, and you can expand this. Okay, but still it is not coming full as. Okay, in this case, let's say I can make it as a horizontal ones, and this case it looks good. When you have many bars, in this case this kind of view looks good, isn't it? This one is looking good than the other one. Okay, but still if you want to go with that one only, so what you should do, here you have the labels, so make it as vertical and like this. Okay, now you can get the full names like this. Full name, earlier it was also coming, but like it was compressing. Now it will be looking good, readable. Okay, so your labels, how you want to show, horizontally or vertically, how many labels you want to show, you can describe that, define that. So here like number of labels. So as of now, let's say we have 17 labels, so obviously it is coming, all the labels are coming. But let's suppose I have many labels and it is looking cumbersome, or it is not looking good. So you can define maximum number of labels, how many labels should come. So right now, let's say 17 labels are coming, but let's say I just want to show 10. So what will happen if I check this option and say 10 or any number, then labels will not be shown. All labels will not be shown. Here you see this?
Okay.
All labels will not be, yeah. So this way, like we can control that how many labels we want. Obviously, in this case, we want to show all labels, but there will be many instances where like we may not need to show all the labels, like in date kind of view, where we don't need to show all the labels. Otherwise, it will look very cumbersome. Next, you have label rendering. Label rendering is again the same thing what I showed you to get the images. Right now it is text. Here you see this is all text, but you can get the images also on your x-axis. For that you have to do, just select the column on which you want to have image, say image from URL, and settings. There you have to specify the URL the way we saw it in table visualization to get the images. Same thing here. I'll show you this example later. So
Adi, how is it pulling up like the images, like, you know, from Google or like, you know, based on the text that we give? Like, how is it pulling the images?
Images like the text last time what we gave, it was my column itself, my data itself was having the hyperlinks. You remember?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
I
yeah,
shared the
yes,
data with you. So that thing, let me open.
Yeah, I remember it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an example just a second. Okay. Let me just make it fast. I'm just loading a new data file. It is just using clipboard. You know clipboard? Clipboard is nothing but your controls. So you can copy anything. Just click on clipboard. That will be copied to your controls, and it will be copied as a tabular form. So I'm just loading new data. So I have loaded a new data where I have just one table. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just going to create a duplicate of this column. Duplicate of this column. Say insert calculated column. Say country. Just click on country so that it will be duplicate. Country flag. Say okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So what you see, you just get two columns having same values. One is country, one is country flag. Here you don't have any URLs like we showed in the earlier session. Okay. Here I don't have any hyperlinks that which can easily fetch the data. That was an example which I showed you. In that I was already getting the hyperlinks. So I was easily able to get the photo, like images of anything. It can be anything. It's not about the celebrity photo. It can be any structure, anything like whatever you want to show. Okay. But in this case, I don't have the hyperlinks. So in this case, what I need to do, I need to go to that columns, a country flag, render image from URL. Here I have, here you can see it's gone. Okay. When I say image from URL, then it doesn't show me anything. So what I have to do, I have to say settings. Earlier in the example which I showed you, as soon as I said like image from URL, automatically all the images started showing up because it was connected to the internet and using the different like hyperlinks, it was bringing the data. But here, what I have to do, I have to put a URL here from where I need to bring the images. So that URL is this one. So this you will get from your business, or like so this way. I'll just bring up this URL. Say close. Okay, and just go to the appearance. Here you see this. You get the images. You get the images. So I'm not having these images in my machine or somewhere saved. These machines, these images are coming from this particular URL, so sitting somewhere else in the web. Okay, So this way, like we can bring the images from anywhere. Only thing we need to have the URL or the link to the particular place which is hosting that application or that which have images. So now this is just a table. Okay. Same way you can bring up this thing on any of the visualization. You can bring these images on any of the visualization. Let's say I have this thing, and instead of country, I want to show images. So category access, label rendering, image from URL, settings. Say okay, say okay, say close. Here you see this. Instead of country names, I'm having images. You can keep this in any of the like chart. So it's like it's your it's your scatter plot. Let's say I'll change it to data table.
Adi, like now, like you're giving one particular URL to get everything. Suppose if I have like different URLs, like for example, like I have an application where I have like for example, if it is an oil and gas, like I have methane and all that, and I have different publications, where I have to pull the data. Okay. So for each one of things, like everything has different links, like different publications. How do I pull the data for like multiple URLs? Like, can we do that?
No. This way you can't pull the data for multiple URLs in a single column. Remember, if you want to pull the multiple data, then you need to have that URLs in the column. The way I showed you in the last example, okay, in the table example, means your column itself should have multiple URLs. But in this case, you can get only one column. Okay. Can have URL from, like one column can have only one URL. The way I showed you.
Okay.
So just go to in this also you can get the images. So here's your labels. Okay. So now what will happen, like whenever your user click on something, they will get the images. So it's like a scatter plot. So once I work for a client like in life sciences, and like we were working on some like data of medicines and all that. So whenever my user was clicking on something, like then the structure of like that chemical composition was coming up here. Like like in school we study chemistry, so C2H2, C2H, like that thing, benzene, hexene, and all that stuff. So that structure used to come like on the scatter plot. So this way, like you can bring up any of these images on any of the visualization. It's all up to you.
Okay.
So this was an example which have images, a new example.
Okay.
So you discussing about chart. So the same thing, you can do it for any other visualization, category access. Okay. Then you have like a show zoom slider. So it is just normally it's not used here, but still it is like useful, but it will be more useful in such cases where you have many values or many data points on your category axis. So you can just using the zoom, you can just see your desired range of output. Okay. Show grid lines. Grid lines is nothing but like a kind of like graphical table we used to see in schools kind of thing. So it's like this. Grid lines for X and Y axis both. So it will be like coming like this. So you can see that where it's falling. Okay. Reverse scale. So if you say reverse scale, then it will be from least to highest. So it's the thing, but scale is reversed. Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Adi, one question, like, we have these charts, right? Like, sometimes the user might ask, like, instead of like, showing me over here, I want in a graph, like, I want the exact number on top of the bar. Like, could we be able to do it? Whatever. Like,
yes,
I mean,
we'll be coming.
We're having a tooltip, right? Like, it's showing the value. Instead
Yes,
of that,
yes,
like,
yes. Yeah. We'll be coming on that. So that is labels here, the next property
oh,
after
okay.
two is labels.
Okay.
Okay. So next is value axis. So value axis is nothing but your y axis.
Okay.
So y axis is like so you can have right now I have sales. So you can have multiple. As I already told you earlier, make sure that you give the display names. Whatever you want to give, sales, total sales, average sales. Make sure you give some name here. Okay. So right now I have taken
Okay.
sales, or you can have one more column here. You can keep having more and more columns here. So this way you can have multiple values on your bar chart. I'll
Okay.
show you that example later. Then I have multiple. This is one axis with single scale. So let's suppose if I take profit also,
Okay.
profit, here you see I'm having sales and profit together. Okay, but
Okay.
where is profit? Where is the profit? In this case, when I having multiple scales, it's not go to use this thing. So what I will be using, I'll use this way. Okay, but again, I'm not getting how much is the sales, how much is the profit. This is sales, this is profit. So here
Okay.
you see, this is sales, this is profit. So for tables, sales is $1.06 million, but profit is minus
Loss.
$72,000. It's loss actually. So this way you can see this, but still it is not looking good. So what I'll do, I'll remove this product category thing. Okay, so that I can get two bars, means now is two segments or whatever bars. One will be sales, one will be profit. So blue one is the sales, or you can change anything, color or anything. So
Okay. Okay.
here you see the red one is your sales and the blue one is your profits. Okay,
Okay.
so you can easily show it. So this is one axis. So this option what you are getting is one axis with a single scale, one axis with a single scale. But if your user says
Okay.
no, I don't want to show this way, or you have this option to see the side by side bars also. Okay, so as I
Yeah.
showed you earlier, side by side. One bar will be for sales, one bar will be for profit. What bar sales, profit, like this. If your user says
Okay.
no, this is fine, but like I don't want to show uh, this way. I want to have one scale. This right now, what is happening? Sales and profit both are sharing one scale. Okay,
Okay.
one scale. You say no, I want something like dual axis. So one scale will be used for sales, one scale will be used for profit. So for that, what you do,
Okay.
you have to just go to your value axis and say multiple scales. So
Okay.
when you say multiple scales for each color, what will happen? You will get two scales. So sales and profit. Earlier, what was happening? Sales and profit were together, but now you have both
Okay.
different sides. One is on left y-axis, one is right y-axis. But there is a catch in
Okay.
this. Catch is a like it's a limitation that when you have multiple scales, you cannot use tag bars. When
Okay.
you want to use multiple scales, you cannot use
Okay.
tag bars anywhere. Okay, you have to always use side by side bars only, like this. Getting
Okay.
this? You're getting
Okay.
the side by side bars. One scale is for red, one is for sales, and on your right hand side now you have another scale which is used by profit.
Yeah.
Only
Because
thing
two
earlier also
scale.
I was getting, yeah, earlier also I was getting the same stuff, but scale was single, so it was not looking that appealing. But now this one looks good, but than before other one. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so this way you can use the bar chart. So here you can use any colors, as all up to you. Whatever you want to change, colors and all, it's all up to you. Okay, so
Okay.
this is your value axis, multiple scales. Show zoom slider again.
Okay.
You have zoom slider. If you want to see only the data up to let's say $500 million, then you can just set it that whatever is coming up to $500 million, so you can check the range.
Okay.
Again, maximum number of labels. How many labels you want to show on your y-axis? Here, these are called labels. So maximum 20. So here it falls under 20 only. That's the reason all are coming. If you reduce this, so here you see labels are going smaller, means like lesser. Okay, so you can increase more and more range.
Okay.
So maximum is like, see, even if I increase it, then it's not increasing. Okay, because that much labels are not there on that.
Okay.
Then individual skill settings. So this is, now I have two skills, so individual skill settings. Sales is on left y-axis. If you want to move it to right y-axis, what you can do, you can just drag and drop also. So this way, like, you can just drag it, okay, and profit you can drag it to this side. Just drag and drop also. But you can do this stuff from here itself.
Okay.
So just select profit, which is on left y-axis, left value axis. You can make it to the right value axis. You want to make the reverse scale, just use the reverse scale. Just to, yeah, this is your reverse scale. Okay.
Okay.
It's not negative. Actually, reverse scale is reverse. That's the reason you are seeing it negative.
Okay.
Okay. This one is negative. This one is negative. Profit are there.
Okay.
This one is negative. But if you are not using reverse scale, what will happen? Anything going down is negative. Okay.
Okay.
But in this case, when I have the reverse scale,
Going
down
up will be
is
losses.
positive only. But since this, yeah. Only thing reverse scale is reverse.
Okay.
So the same thing you can do it for sales if you want, which is right y-axis or reverse scale. So it is like that only.
Okay.
Top bottom. Okay. Okay, then you have colors. Colors I already know, like we are using now category column names. That's the reason we don't need to put any colors, rules, anything here, since we are using Excel. Otherwise, our rules will go off. And as of now, when we have the column names, we cannot use rules here. Okay, add rules. The rules which we created last time in all table, cross table.
Yeah.
Then you have labels. Labels means like, okay, now my user will know that that how much sales or all that is happening here using the tooltip, but it's not a good idea to show this way. So what I need to do, I need to put the labels permanently here so that my users can see that what is the sales and all that is happening. So just go to labels and say all.
Okay.
Okay, here you see this. Now you're getting the labels for each bar. So 297.95, 1.14, 1.22, 1.6, like this, you're getting the labels. Okay.
Okay.
Under labels, this is all. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have marked rows. All means like it's looking good. Okay, this one is looking better. Horizontal or vertical, that's your choice. So this one is looking better than the earlier one because it was taking more space. Vertical is looking good. So here it's looking good then because like here I have less bars. But there will be many instances where I have many bars and labels or data points where labels will show off very cumbersome. It will be very cluster, means like cumbersome together. It will be like not looking good. So in that case, what I want my users to see only those labels which are marked. Okay, here I have selected marked rows. It means whatever I will mark, only that label will pop up. Here you see this?
Okay.
Like this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, only
Whatever
that is
is
getting marked. Only that is showing up here. None means no labels will be shown. Okay.
Okay.
And maximum number of labels, like maximum number of labels of complete bars, 100 labels, till 100 labels it will be shown. Bar decimal places, it is one decimal place. You can increase this or decrease this.
Okay.
So here you see the bar size and all is increasing, decreasing. I'll make it as and your tooltip, as you know, like is the information which you are seeing on the bars. Okay. So let me just bring this. Tooltip is nothing but like the information what you're seeing on the bars. So right now you're seeing three different things here. Product subcategory, sales, and column names again is sales is coming, which is because color by is used. I don't want to show this.
Okay.
So if you are on the sales bar, you will see product category, subcategory, and sales. If you are on the profit bar, then you will see product subcategory and profit. Okay. But suppose your users say, okay, this is fine, but I want to see the whenever I go anywhere, like any of the selection, I should see the value together. Okay, so sales and profit numbers together. So here, if I am on the sales, I should see this product subcategory, sales and profit together. So if I on profit, let's suppose, then I should see the profit sales also here. So what I need to do, I need to add a tooltip here. So just add the profit here. Say profit. It will come as sum of profit. Okay. You cannot remove the aggregation. So what you have to do, you have to just say profit here, display name. Okay. Otherwise, it will come up with sum of profit only. Save. Now, if you see what you're getting, sales and profit.
Like first.
Yeah. This way you can keep adding more and more information here. So just can have product category also here. So product category. Office machine. It's a part of technology product. Yeah. So this way you can keep adding more and more tooltip information onto your chart. Legends. Legends, as you know, like this is called your legend. Under this, I need to show marking also. So marking and color by is important for now. So this is a legend which you can show on your right hand side or left hand side. It's your choice how you want to show, where you want to show. Show legend and hide inside. This is like unhide, showing, and this is hiding.
Okay.
Trellis. So now like you are seeing this information, and Trellis gives you a very important requirement now. Let's suppose just to have a small view. So here you are seeing this a subcategory. Okay, you're seeing the sales and everything. Now your user says, okay, this is fine, and here you have region. So central, east, south, and west. Okay, central, east, south, and west. Now your user says, okay, this is fine. Let me just check the data, how this is moving or how the sales are happening for central region.
Okay.
So what you will do as a user, you will uncheck the remaining items, east, south, and west, and you are seeing only central. So this numbers, what all you are getting, this is only for central. Then you want to see for east, then you will select east. Then you want to see the south, you will do that. But what if you want to see both the things together, central, east together, or central and west together? I have selected central and west, but I cannot compare the values, isn't it?
Okay.
I cannot compare the values. What you're getting a sum of a combination of these two numbers, central and west. What if your user says, okay, this is fine, but I want to do the comparison. How can I do the comparison? Apple by apple. You cannot like compare one apple with like two parts. Even though, let's say you want to have, let's say, Kashmiri apple or American apple. What if, like, if you just want to compare both the apples and you have only one? How can you compare the? Okay, so if you want to do comparison, then you should have something like the Kashmiri apple and one American apple. Then only you can compare that which one is good. Okay, same thing here. What you need to do, you need to have some option where you'll have one side will show you central results, one side will show you west results, like that. So that kind of requirements are done by Trellis, and it's very important functionality. So Trellis option. I'll go back on rows and columns later, but let me just do it first. Panels. Under panels, what I'll do, I will use region. I will use region. So what you get when I say region here?
East, west.
One bar, your one bar chart is converted into 4 different bar charts. It's kind of sectors. One bar chart is converted into 4 different bar charts because 4 different values are there for region.
Okay.
Because I have 4 regions. That's the reason 4 sectors, segments, 4 divisions.
Okay.
If I have 10 regions, there will be 10 divisions. Okay. Now, my user was looking for central and south. Here you get it. And check the remaining 2. Here you are central and south. For central region, Office Machines is giving me $315 million, 315,000. So just labels, make it horizontal to get it. Okay. And there will be a few instances where if you see that labels are not coming because of spacing problems. So this happens sometimes. So what you do, you have to just see, okay, like this. Because of spacing problem, you don't get the full numbers. So here you see, central is showing me $316,000 and west is giving me $396,000. So I can easily compare the things. Okay. So this is your. So I want to compare west, then south to west, then south to east, west to east, like this. I can easily compare. Okay. So this is called Trellis option using panels. Okay. But under panels again, this is for all. Here's a Trellis, and then I have manual layout. So this is 2 by 2 manual layout. Okay, 2 rows, 2 columns. I can have 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is nothing but side by side. Earlier I was having top and bottom kind of stuff. This is side by side.
So
I have central east to like this, and then south and west like this. Now, if I want to compare central and west, then it will be side by side. Then I can easily compare the numbers. It looks more convenient for me. Say central region 316, west region 396. Least is giving me rubber bands. Here also rubber bands. Second least is labels. Here also it's labels. Okay. So this way, like we can easily see the numbers. What all are giving us more and more information. Okay. And this is 1 by 2, or you can have 1 by 1 also, where you will see one region at a time. So you will get a scroll like this. You will get a scroll like this. So central, then you'll have east, then you'll have south. You will use this option a lot on a day-to-day basis. Okay. And you have 2 by 1. 2 by 1, as I showed you that. Top and bottom kind of stuff. Okay. So this is your Trellis option for panels. Then you have rows and columns. Rows and columns allows you to have rows. Same thing. I was giving you the same stuff. But here I'll start with region. Let's say same thing, region. So I got rows, columns, and pages. So 3 options we have here. So I got rows. How many regions I have? 4 regions. That's the reason I got 4 rows. Central, east, south, and west. Okay. Then I have columns. I will take these columns as, let's say, product category, or let's say ship mode. Okay. So if you see now, 4 rows are also getting 3 different columns: delivery truck, express air, and regular air. Okay. Now your
Okay.
chart is more converted into detailed form. Okay. If you see, then for express air, there are very small buildings, isn't it?
Okay.
And for delivery truck and regular air, there are bigger buildings. So this tells my
Okay.
user that express air is shipping is done, but it is very less compared to the remaining two ship modes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have one more option called rows, say customer segment.
Okay.
Now, I understand that this will be looking bit like you can say not easy to understand,
Read.
but I'll tell you read exactly to like read it, but like we'll see that how it can be more useful or like easily interpreted. Okay,
Okay.
so right now what we are getting rows, columns, and pages. So here we
Okay.
have the rows, central, east, south, and west. So this is central row, this is east row, south row, and
Okay.
west row. And I have columns, delivery truck, express air,
Okay.
regular air. Where is the pages? Pages is on the top. So I have taken these trellis by region,
Okay.
ship mode, and customer segment. So if you see this all result, what you are seeing on this view in front of you, this is only for those people or those consumers which were consumer segment. Okay, which were through
Okay.
consumer segments. Actually, I have four consumer segment, customer segment, consumer, corporate, home office, small
Okay.
business. Let's say you must be purchasing online something. Okay, then you are asking for one or two products. Then you will be something called retail customer, isn't it? Okay, retail
Yes.
customer for home office customer or small business. Okay, if you are running a small business, then you will be asking for 10 products, 20 products. Okay, then you are running a small business. If someone is
Okay.
asking for 100 products, 1,000 products at a time, then obviously that will be a corporate client, isn't it? That's what.
Okay.
Okay, so here whatever numbers and results what you see here, this is for consumer segment. Just scroll down, bars change, numbers change. This is for corporate.
Corporate.
This is page view. Okay, just scroll down. This is home office view. Numbers and everything is changing.
Okay.
Numbers changing, buildings changing, everything. And
Yes.
then express here.
Small.
This is for small business. So this way, I got four different pages based on my customer segment. Now, how to read it easily? Okay, in that case, I'll start applying the filters. Till now,
Okay.
we have not applied filters. Now I'll start applying the filters. So I just want to see
Okay.
data only for, let's say, California or something. So here I see the, so this is for California. Numbers. Okay, under California, I want to see only for Apple Valley, like this. Now looking good. Now easily
Okay.
understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you start apply the filters now. So users will also do the same stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So users want to see this way. You start applying the filters, and you will see more and more detail of your data.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Trellis option, very useful, very widely used.
Okay.
Okay. I'll remove Trellis. Then you have lines and curves. Lines and curves is nothing but a way by which you can give like kind of targets. You know, like every business have some targets or something.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you can have multiple lines, multiple curves here. So all these curves and all are there. So horizontal line, let's say I just want to create a horizontal line. So just give, let's say, uh, some fixed number, let's say 500,000. So 500,000 was my target. Okay. So let's check like how many lines I have to create. You there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, so here you can see that line is coming, and this is my target. You can give some, let's say, target sales. Okay, so which products are able to achieve this? So here you see anything going above this line is able to achieve, but computer peripherals is almost able to achieve. Okay, $491,000. So I can think like, okay, this is achievable. Then I have appliances, office furnishings, paper. All these products are not even near to that my target.
Okay.
Okay, so I will see that why this is happening, or let's say in a particular region if it is going or not. I just want to see for
Okay.
central. So for central, you can see nothing is there.
Okay.
For east, nothing is there. For south, nothing is there. For west, nothing is there. So this way, like I might be having my own targets.
Okay.
Okay, so this whether someone is able to achieve it or not. So this way, like I'll have the lines and curves. So you can have lines, but if you see there is one more thing, like I won't be having vertical line option here. Here you see it
Okay.
is grayed out, disabled.
Okay.
So I'll tell you why. And then you have the different curves and all, polynomial curve, curve fit and all that stuff. So at what degree you want to create a polynomial curve? Say okay, 2 degree. Okay, so then you get a message. Cannot calculate curve when bars are sorted by height. So I don't want to sort it by height, remove the height.
Okay.
Okay, then the curve will come up, polynomial curve.
Okay.
Also, if you see that what till the time it is coming, so vertical line is grayed out. Okay, why it is grayed out? Because vertical line can only be created on continuous values, not on categorical values.
Okay.
Vertical line can only be created on continuous values, not on categorical. String columns, it cannot be created. Vertical line. Here you see horizontal line. It means you are giving some number based on which like the line is created, isn't it? 500, 10, like say 10, 20, 50, 100, 10,000, 1 lakh, 1 million. You are giving some number. On top of that only it is creating, isn't it?
Okay.
Same
Yes.
thing for vertical line. You need to have some number. It can be date column, it can be numerical column, then only the vertical line will be created. Okay, so remember, vertical lines are created only on continuous values. Sometimes people are like people who are new, they like get panic, like why the vertical line is not coming here? What is the reason? Is something wrong? So it's not. I also felt the same way when I started working on Spotify. I was not getting vertical line. I was thinking that why it's not working, and there was no one to ask at that time. Like even like you couldn't find any help much. Like so later we find out that vertical lines works only on categorical value or continuous values. Okay.
Continuous values.
So this way you can have different curves. You can just go through all the curves. Very like important. So this way like curve comes and so what is the meaning of this polynomial curve? What does it tell us? So that thing you must understand and your user should also understand. Okay, it's not that someone is not understanding about the artificial intelligence and all that. Okay, AI, and you start like explaining it to some like roadside person. Obviously you won't, you may understand but the other person will not understand. So when you use these polynomial curves, your user should also understand this thing, then only they can like help themselves to get the answers, isn't it? So same thing. Whenever your users will ask, then only you have to keep these things. So if there is a meaning of polynomial curve, why this is using, what is the information it is showing us, what this calculation is happening. If you go on Google and type polynomial, then only you will understand that what is happening. See, every calculation is done by Spotify itself. You don't need to do anything. So this A1, A2, these are the values which are find out, okay? And this calculation. So there is a meaning of that, so which you have to check.
Okay.
So this is about lines and curves. Then you have error bars. Sometimes what happens, your like numbers what you are getting is not correct completely, or you might have seen that there might be plus minus 10 variation. Okay, so that kind of error bars are shown using like that kind of errors are shown using error bars. So this is your error bars. What you see on the top, it's a like head kind of thing. Actually, right now it's not showing me any error. it is just showing me whatever size of my sales is. Accordingly, it is showing the same size of the error bar. If you notice, the bar size and the error bar size is same. The line on the red lines, this like on the top of each bar, the size of that and the bar size is almost accurately same. Okay.
Yeah.
Because what I'm taking, my number bars are based on my same sum of sales, and my error bars are also on sum of sales. Instead, what I have to do, I have to use the standard deviation. Okay, standard deviation. So how much it is deviating from their value. Then now you will see very small numbers are coming, very small size of like this error bars are coming. Okay.
Okay.
It is because my data may not be wrong, or there might not be very deviation from in my data. That's the reason it is coming like this. But sometimes the data comes like that way, where the error bars can be easily shown that how much deviation is coming in the data. Okay. So this way you can show the uncertainty in your data. Error bars is nothing but uncertainty in your data. Okay, error bars.
Okay.
What is error bars? Here you just read out. Error bars are used to indicate the estimated error in a measurement. In other words, an error bar indicates the uncertainty in a value. Okay. So how much deviation or how much uncertainty is there? You can't completely rely on the number. It is showing 1.15. So it might be 1.25 or it might be 1.10 also. So like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Subsets, which I have already seen, like current filtering, not in current filtering, and show hard items. Show hard is nothing but like you want to show top 10, top 20 kind of stuff. Okay. So here, let's say if I have, I'll take state or province. So I have 49 states of US. Okay. But my user says, okay, this is fine, but I just want to see top 10 states. The sales of top 10 states. What you will do? Say add. Just say sales here, okay, and say top 10, whatever number you want to give, say okay. So this way you will be seeing only top 10 states. Okay.
Okay.
So this way your top 10 states coming. Again, you can just sort by value. Okay. So this will be highest is California and a 10th is Massachusetts. Okay. So this way your bar chart goes through. So like these all options you have to work on your bar chart to bring more and more information on top of the chart.
Okay.
So this is bar chart, and tomorrow we'll see the line and other charts.
Sure, Adi.
Okay. Now, like whatever chart you will start now onwards, because bar chart is having almost all the features, properties. Now, whatever chart you will start, let's say line chart or bar chart, all the charts properties will remain same. Here you see all the properties are same. Line bar, line curve, error bar, only the chart specific property will differ. Okay. So since if you just notice that the whole session we just discussed on bar chart only. Okay, because first time it will take one chart in a session, but from now onwards, because we will be covering only chart specific property, remaining properties will remain same, no difference.
Okay.
So we'll skip that.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll wind up for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time.
Okay, sure, Adi. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Good day.
you have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.